Alright, so in this video we're checking out the latest charger from ToolkitRC. It's the M8AC smart charger. So look at the box here in a second, get the charger in the box, and just a few accessories here. So get a screen protector so they can protect the plastic from getting scratched. Small manual. You get a USB-C to USB-A cable, and you get an AC cord that plugs into the back. Just a quick look around the box. It does have dual input AC and DC, and 65 watts of fast charging via USB-C. I'll demo that in a second here. It's 200 watts max power on AC, 600 watts on DC, 20 amps max, 1 to 8S. That's what's indicative of the M8. It's a single port and up to an 8-cell battery, 2.4-inch IPS display. And here are all the important specs here. Input range on the DC is 7 to 35 volts, AC 100 to 240 volts. And these are the typical battery chemistries: LiPo, high volt, Li-Fi, lithium ion, and LTO. I'm not sure what LTO is. Nickel metal hydride, 1 to 20S, and lead, 1 to 12S. Charge rate from 0.1 to 20 amps at 600 watts, and the balance current is 1 amp or 1000 milliamp hours at 4.2 volts. So that's pretty impressive. And you got a discharge rate at 0.1 to 20 amps at 600 watts in recycle mode, and 0.1 to 3 amps at 20 watts in normal mode. And then the USB-C is 65 watts max at 20 volts. Okay, so taking a look around the charger, got a nice shiny screen here. Smart charger, you got this button here, scroll wheel, and this also acts as a button. 200 watts, 600 watts, 20 amps, 1 to 8S. We've seen that already. And you got your XT60 in the front here. This is for the output, and your balanced lead 2 to 8S, as well as USB-C output here. And then this is your test port for things like PWM signals, etc. We've talked about this in previous videos on other ToolkitRC reviews, so I'll link the charger playlist down in the video description. You can watch some of the older ones if you want. I've talked about that in several other videos as previously. This is where the AC plug goes in, 100 to 240 volts, and then this is the DC, 7 to 35 volts here, XT60, and you got your ventilation fan here, and just the same specs here again on the bottom. Nice little rubber feet. Well, all in all, it looks like a pretty nice charger. Let's go ahead and plug it in. I'll show you the interface here. Typical ToolkitRC interface. I'll show you how to charge here in a second. Let's show you the USB-C charging. You can look at that right away. Just plug in. Let's plug in a power bank here, and this will charge at 65 watts off of that 4-cell battery. Alright, so I'm charging up this power bank here. Looks like it's going at 44 watts, and then you can bring up the tool menu while I'm pressing the left button here, and click on USB information. See, it's at 15.18 volts at 2.98 amps. It's using the PDF protocol. And we'll do a little demo charge here of a 3-cell LiPo. Plug in that, and then plug in the balance lead, and you can see we have this one is already at 4 volts per cell. Typical setup here: you short press the scroll wheel, bring up the charge menu, and you can change the battery type here. And then they do have this UAV bat type, which I think is for DJI. That's kind of new. Unfortunately, don't have any adapters for that. Leave it on LiPo. It'll auto detect the cells. Charge mode. Change that from charge, discharge, storage, and destroy. These are all stuff that we've seen before. I'm not going to say anything different here. You can change the discharge current. And discharge current goes all the way up to 3 amps. That's pretty good. And we're going to change this back to charge. You can change the end voltage if you want to bring that up. And let's say it's 4.22. And hit start. And okay. So this is all exactly the same as I've seen on all the other ToolkitRC chargers I've used in the past. You can scroll here, you can see the current voltage, and it should also show resistance there. And I guess if we want to stop this, press the scroll wheel, you can adjust the current there. Wow, it's at 3.8 amps. That's probably too much for this little LiPo. Let's bring that down. And then we'll just hit stop. And like with other ToolkitRC chargers, you long press the left button here, brings up the tool menu. So you have things like measure resistance. Of course, you have to have a battery plug-in for that. You can measure signal. I think, let's see, it's PWM, PPM. Let's see what else is there. S-bus. No crossfire though. Just those types. That's still the same. You can also output those signals as well for signal testing, PWM, PPM, and S-bus. Do an ESC test on here. And I also turn this into a power supply. So output voltage is, so it goes up to, I think it's 35 volts. So if you want to turn this into like a desktop power supply, yeah, certain voltage, you can set that, and then max current, and the current goes up to, what's it go up to? 20 amps. Wow, that's pretty high. So that's like 600 watts, I guess. Then if you hit start, it will output that amount of voltage and current from here, and it'll act like a power supply. So if you have a specific need for output power, then you can turn this into a power supply. You probably want to use a AC source here, or a really large DC battery, like one of those giant 12 volts lithium iron phosphate batteries I've been reviewing lately. And then again, I showed you that before, the USB information. So that's the standard tools menu. So all in all, pretty much the same as the M6. I think the M6AC that I reviewed previously that had the basically 1 to 6S on the batteries. This does up to an 8-cell battery. Unfortunately, I don't have any 8-cell batteries to test, but obviously this is going to be perfect for those of you guys that are charging up your 8-cell LiPos for your 5-inch 8-cell FPV quads. Not a whole lot of those out there, but I think there's like one bind and fly that I've seen. Probably going to see more in 2025, so that's probably why this charger is coming out. Not a lot of 8-cell chargers out there, so if you've been looking for one, definitely check it out. This will be linked down in the video description, and that'll do it for this video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.